that's everything. Alright, so I had a lot of fun. Yes, last night, I mean, doing that whole explanation thing that I did with Chalices. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm not gonna do like the whole thing that I did and go over like make an argument for why they're fun and why they were a worthwhile addition to a Souls game. Well, I mean specifically to this game. I'm just gonna do like what I would like, kind of what I do as a standard when I want to play a Chalice with a character. So today I'm not gonna do her. I'm gonna play with this guy, and he is a strength arcane build, level 141. So what I normally do is I'll just if I feel like playing Bloodborne and I want to do a Chalice, I'll just load one of the characters and then immediately head on over here and do just make a Chalice, I guess. Let me see if I have money. I mean, okay. I'll usually make level 5 ones, and I don't want to do a curse one because I tend to get stuck whenever there's like a massively difficult boss. So what I'm gonna do with him is, instead of making a Thumer one, I'm gonna make, which one? Damn it. I'm gonna make a Sinister, an Isis one. So this is good for him because he's an arcane build. So you can find the really nice arcane, like arcane, whatchamacallem, gems in the Isis Chalices. The disadvantage that he's gonna have though is that since he's an arcane character, in the Isis Chalices, there's a high probability they'll be fighting arcane bosses, but that's fine because I can just use bold paper, which all of them are weak to, and yeah. So that's it, pretty much. I really enjoyed. I don't know what it was about last night's, but I think it's just like sharing how much fun they can be and like what it is that they do. I kind of wish I would have had access to, like, I mean, there would never be a whatchamacallit there, but like being able to actually record and share experiences with these games that I fucking love is wonderful. And I really wish I would have had access to like a streaming device or something like that back in the day when I originally played Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and Demon Souls. So yeah, so it's no excuse, there's no reason really other than like I just want to show like the enjoyment that I get out of this game, but especially like Chalices. So no bonus room here. Let's kind of set up our lamp and get ready to go. I should sell all my pebbles because I always keep finding them. Oh yeah, no. Oopsie doodles. I want her there because in case I get invaded, it'll be fun to have like a saved invasion. Come on, dude. Oh fuck! No! Oh, right in front of us. Perfect. Oh shit. And then on top of that, I'm getting, is there another one? There's usually 2. Come on, dude. Since this guy's a strength build, he actually doesn't do as much, visceral attack damage. I knew there was a second. I knew it. So like, yeah. So he's doing almost 2,000, But with Sulimata yesterday, I was doing more than 3,000 per visceral. And I should probably maybe not play him like that. Like, I have a rune set up. I have claw marks on him, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So, no, not this one, this one. I should probably build him around other runes, because I don't really make use of the other runes. I kind of have, like, it's always Blood Rapture, which restores HP, and this is one of the most useful one, if not the most useful one, and then Claw Mark to make, because I love Viscerals, but I should probably, like, kind of explore the usefulness of the other runes. Especially with a character that doesn't get as much out of Viscerals, like him. I kind of want to make a, like a strength blood tinge character, because that's the only combination that I don't have. Every single one of my characters is a different type of, like, come on, dude. These guys are fucking dangerous. Because they steal your insight. But they're so easy to play. So I made one, but I wasn't happy with like the what I did with the character creation. One thing about pretty much every game after Dark Souls 2 in terms of like character creation is it's really difficult to get like the type of skin tone that I like for my characters, which is kind of like brown, like kind of like having a nice tan or dark. It's really difficult to actually make a character like that. Because the color options are super ugly when you actually try to do dark skin. Like it doesn't look like the type of like an actual skin color. So it's very, very difficult to simulate like a realistic person of like my skin color or the type of skin color that I was raised around. And even like if you go the other direction, like if you want to make a super white character, it's almost like ghostly white. So here, I guess this was a very short standard area. So there is a bonus room. So X fingers for like either a good rune or an uncanny or a lost version of a weapon. But anyway, I do really want to make a character like that, and I'm thinking like if I get my shit together correctly for it, I can probably make it work in terms of creating like a stream, like maybe doing what's firing? Like doing like a walkthrough of the game with a blood tinge strength character. So I have to really, really think about how to put that together, because I think that would be fun. And I especially would love to have like that experience saved, so that I could watch it later, and I think other people would probably get a kick out of it as well. Come on, dude. I don't know, while I'm thinking about it, I should probably do it soon actually. Oh shit, I'm being invaded. Let me get close to like, actually I don't give a fuck. If I die, I die. God damn it. See, now I don't know where I'm gonna end up. And sure enough, oh, these are the guys that were firing shit at me. Those guys can be dangerous because they do a lot of damage with those arcane attacks, and I think I might be like, Jesus, come on, man. You're getting carried, dude. You gotta try. Share my juice. Come on, Adam. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh, that's good job, man. You earned that. Fuck. So that's what I should have taken that more seriously, I guess. But I did parry him literally like I think it was 3 times. So little bastard. So I don't know where my train of thought was at before the invasion. So yeah, I want to do like kind of like a stream and kind of talk throughout it to kind of like the best part is kind of like the area by area kind of things that you feel as you play the game. And I want to son of a bitch. Oh shit, no, wait. I need to cancel. Spiders are gonna be fucking hunting me down because I had already killed the Thumerian lady that was anyway, I'm gonna be right back. Good. I thought one of the spiders was gonna keep coming, but I guess I have enough distance between myself and the bell ringing woman where it's not she's not spawning the spiders. Why am I seeing a ghost? This is the fight. This is the fight that I just did. Awesome. See, normally when you make one of these Chalice dungeons, you're the only person that's been here. Like, I just made this. So I guess this is how like the game's engine saves interactions like this, because you would normally go through here. Of course, there are no like ghosts of other players. There's no blood. I mean, dead. Like the things that appear after you die, where you can see how somebody else died. So yeah. But if you go to a dungeon that a lot of other people use, like the ones that get saved and stuff like that, then there's a high likelihood that you're gonna see, of course, like lots of ghosts of other players. No door there, no door there. Baby. This is not a coffin, so I highly doubt this is. Yeah, there's gonna be like the price is somewhere else, because that's just a standard treasure chest. So I think I did come in this room before, but did I go up or did I go down? Up. Look at that. It was blending with all these some Metal Gear Solid shit. Oh, no, that's a trap. These are one-hit kills at that 5 dungeons, it seems. Actually, I think it's if they're doing counter damage, you're going to. So this is what I was looking for. And X fingers on good stuff. Come on. Nope. So I got the soul of a great one because whatever was in there is something that I've already gotten in a different dungeon, obviously, not this one because I've never been here before. So if it was a rune and I already have that rune, I'm not gonna have access to it, so I'll just get like a replacement. And those things are still good because that's like I think it's like 3 insight, so it's still worth it. No, I've been down here. Okay, time to get out. So as far as the boss, I'm guessing it's either gonna be the big alien, the celestial emissary, or it might just be one of the standard. Oh, actually, it's high likelihood that it's gonna be one of the little like Cthulhu insight stealing monsters. So let's see. Soul sucker. No, it's a boy. Time to save. Ow! It had already knocked me down. Anyway. That's the only attack that's dangerous from that boss. Basically, it's like, if he does a full rush in on you, then you're done. At least that's what happened to me many times before. And I think, again, it's the counter damage. Like, if you're attacking or running, there's a high likelihood that it'll take your entire HP. So I'm gonna fucking do this the hardcore way, because I want to close some distance as quick as possible so I don't get rushed. By putting all these things in the game that you can fix. He's probably into like fucked up shit. Because I've been fisting these things. I mean, in Dark Souls 1, you can fist a fish pretty much as soon as you start the game. And now here, it's like full on. Look at what's happening. This is rated like NC-17. Damp Blood Gem 6. Let's check that out. Radiant Damp Blood Gem 6. It's a triangle. Boost rally potential. It's one of these. Reduces stamina cost by 4.7. Extra damage at full HP. Slow poison. It's one of these two. Neither of these are worth it, but this is actually kind of a nice thing for him actually, because like if rally potential is basically how much of your HP you get back after you've been hit for that short period of time between attacks. So with a weapon that hits a lot of people, you could potentially get your entire HP back. And since I'm thinking about not using viscerals with him as much, it would probably make sense to get use out of something like that. So here we are in layer 2, and this is the first bonus area. So I'm gonna see what's going on up in here. I hope this one is not too long. Sometimes like the bonus areas can be bigger than the main area themselves. I think that was the case in the first layer. But oh wow, is this inaccessible? Oh, I clipped through the box. Wow. This is rare, but it can happen sometimes. Like, I've seen two big chests, one behind the other, and there's really no way of accessing the one in the back. And I guess this is just like one of the things about like procedurally generated shit. It's like you can get stuff like that. This guy can't be stunned once he starts an attack, I think. It's not worth. Like visceraling him is the best way. Come on, dude. Oh, the grab! Oh, the grab! I hear a pig. I hear a pig. Oh shit, I'm getting summoned. I mean, I'm getting invaded. I hope it's Adam again. I think the pig might be... Oh wait, there's another door actually. So there's two paths. This probably is a one. Yeah, there's no way of getting in there. So what I'm gonna do... Oh, fuck. Yeah, there's no way of like... I think I must have tripped the trap somewhere. These are the ones that are like most difficult to test. Because they place them in random areas, and the effect that they all have is basically just to spawn like the red enemies that hunt you down. Pearl slug. This might be a... Nope. something dying by itself over there? That happens sometimes too, and it's like the poison traps and whatnot. This is a trap right here. I can already tell. The poison traps. Whoa, 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 whoa. Will hurt the enemies. So they'll sometimes get poisoned, but you have to be within range for the trap to spawn. So it'll spawn out of sight, but it'll still be having the same exact effect. This is strange. This entire room is supposed to have You gave up, Adam. I've been waiting for you, buddy. So, god damn it, I was looking forward to like having a rematch for that guy. I guess he just didn't want to hunt me down. So, I wonder what this will do. Absolutely nothing. That's strange. I shouldn't have tripped. Damn it. Okay, at least I can get back up there quick. Oh shit. I've never seen that. She's doing bolt magic or whatever. And normally they only do fire shit. So I guess that's different. The ones in the bottom throw fire, so I think I haven't been to whatever is in the very bottom, like the 3rd level. I'm gonna jump right down and like not bother. Oh fuck, a body snatcher. Sometimes they do a jump that throws me off. Because it's like they're only really quick attack before they transform. And it's just a shock. Like they kind of just jump and fucking kill you. So if you react, the effect it'll have is that you'll be taking counter damage and of course you'll fucking die. Another door. This is the most like complicated. Okay, yeah, that goes to the main area. So I should get out of here and get on with my life. Because there's nothing else. How the fuck do I get? I mean, I forgot how to. Yeah, no, this goes to the treasure room. I should go down to the rotunda room. I think I came in through here, yeah. Long hallway. Can't believe Adam just gave up like an idiot. Whoa, hold up now. So there's a lady summoning there somewhere, and I need to find her, because they're just gonna keep respawning. And I think they'll die if I kill her in one minute. Jesus. So now I'm just getting everybody up in here. There she is. This is the room that was visible from the bonus area. So this door was not, you couldn't open it, but here you can. Basket of Lorraine. Yeah, I hate that. They follow you like to the everywhere. Kind of like Black Knights in the first Dark Souls. And I don't feel like fighting right after that. I'm just gonna run it. So there's no exit to this room. That means that there's those rooms always have a walkway up top. So that's where I really should be headed. And it'll likely take me to the switch room. I don't know what note I wrote in love, but it has saved my life on multiple occasions. I think there's a way of checking things, but I'm never really yeah, I haven't gone down that way. This is probably where we're coming. This is the walkway I talked about earlier. And there's a fucking Cthulhu monster guarding this room. I'm not being followed, so I'm gonna kill him. Sometimes they drop good shit. No, Quicksilver bullets, I'll take that. Alright. So now I'm ready for, I didn't find whoever was summoning the creatures, but since they're low-level monsters, I'm not really gonna bother. And I've already completely stripped, like, the entire layer, I mean, this main area of everything. So there's no point in wasting any more of my time. And there's probably gonna be no bonus area. Yeah, so I'm out of here. Time to fight the boss. This is probably gonna be the Celestial Emissary. So they're dangerous, but I'm gonna risk it. Nope, brain sucker. Only lost 2 insight. Oh. one insight, one insight. Ooh, that's a girl. I bet the thing will follow me in here. Arcane Depth, Blood Gem 6. I want to make sure the skeleton dude is not going to like stalk me in here because they'll do that. They'll even follow you into the boss room. Okay, doesn't look like that's the case. I'll be right back. Okay, so Arcane Depth Blood Gem 6. This is the same one that I got on the other one. So I'm just gonna double check. I never really do this, I just leave them, and because I go through the same procedure every time that I check, that I upgrade the weapons or whatever, so, but it's actually probably a good idea if I clear it out, this entire inventory, because a lot of these are useless, even if they're very, like, have a high rating on them. HP continues to recover far. Radiant, down, Blood Gem 6. Wait. No, it's Arcane down, Blood Gem 6. Arcane down, Blood Gem 6. Arcane attack up 50%. No, Arcane down, Blood Gem. Okay, that's good. Whoa. Maybe this is worth it. But I think it depends on how high my arcane standard attack already is. Yeah, okay, anyway. At least the blood chunks are good. So this is the last one. Unless there's a level 4, which there's a possibility for. Quicksilver bullets. Another thing that I love about like the restoration system in this game is that like I don't have to worry about getting all my fucking blood vials or whatever, because if you play the game well, they will like you will find blood vials, you will find more quicksilver bullets. And you don't ever have to kind of stop the flow of the game to go back to the Nexus or to like do any of that shit. Like as long as you play carefully, you can always find more bullets, you can always find more vials. Using health to pay for like 5 vials is really useful. And sometimes I'll do the health. I'll do the 5 blood bullets using my own blood, and then just do a visceral in order to restore my health, the amount of health that I paid in order to get those extra 5 bullets, which kind of completely like removes the need for those rooms that give you extra bullets, because with 20 you're well, like you're gonna do very well with 20 bullets and 20 blood vials, as long as you know how to you know, play carefully and manage your like if you're managing your health correctly and you're managing your bullets correctly, you can do the entire like Chalice dungeon without having to go back to the Hunter's Dream at all. And I really like that. Because I think people were complaining like, oh, this is like Demon Souls. You always have to go back to the Hunter's Dream. And it's like, not really, not necessarily. And in fact, if you carry around a lot of the souls, it kind of works to reinforce careful play. So like, I'm carrying around 500,000 blood echoes right now. So in the back of my mind, I know that like the stakes are high, and it kind of gives me it's like creates the impetus to not play foolishly, to just be kind of careful in how I do things, and better tap into like the game's amazing battle system. Come on, dude. This one was short. Sometimes there's doors here. Actually, there isn't one over there? No. It's hard to see with this like misty effect that the Isis's dungeons have. Like oftentimes I'll miss enemies that are like doing Solid Snake shit and stuff like that because of that kind of like effect. But it's so atmospheric though. Like it does what it's supposed to do. Smash that up. I think this is locked. Yeah. So this is, I know for a fact there's gonna be a, ooh, bath messengers. There's gonna be a third, a second bonus area. I can already tell. Because that's where that locked door goes to. Wait, didn't I run into one of these and there were no stairs to get up top? So anyway, since there's bath messengers, what I'm gonna do is, I don't know if I have done with this character what I do with all my characters, which is kind of get the uncanny and lost versions of the DLC equipment. No, yeah, I think I did do that, and I dropped them off at the coffin. Actually, I should go check. I'm gonna, I don't know if it's gonna break. Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna go back. So in those bath messengers, I can purchase the Lost and Uncanny. I don't have any need for all these blood echoes because I'm not leveling up this character anymore. So I want to check and see what I'm missing. Yeah, so I put everything here. Yeah, I do have them already. I put everything here to make changing weapons manageable. But, yeah, actually, so I already have them. So there's no really, I came back for no reason, but it was worthwhile to check anyway. I'm gonna get, I'm gonna purchase Bloodstone Chunks and also get my Insight down because more than likely, the last boss is gonna be Ebrietta's. And if you have high insight, it's very easy to get frenzied by her. So, oh shit, I should have spent the fucking souls on random shit or something. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So if you have lower insight, you're gonna have you're not gonna go into frenzy as easily, and during the fight. And I needed to purchase. I still haven't figured out this effect, like this beast hood effect, is related to insight in certain ways. Because when I get rid of all this insight, or whenever there's like changes in the negative with insight, I get the beast hood effect. And I don't really know what that is. Like I should probably like look it up, because I've heard that there's like ways of doing massive damage with beast hood. I don't know. I'm probably missing out on something, but I haven't figured it out on my own. Because I know insight deals with like frenzy, like your frenzy resistance, but it also on top of that has a relationship to the beast status with the blood pellets. Oh, trap. Oh, Scourge Beast. Come over here, man. Oh, look at these guys. With this weapon, they're broken. First of all, they're very easy to pierce, but they can be staggered too easily. So with the L2 attack for this weapon, they're complete. Oh! If I don't calm my fucking ass down, I'm gonna die. Yeah. So once you get them one time, they're done. Oh no! But you have to get them up against like a surface. So if you have them backed up against the wall where they're locked, they're kind of locked into the stun effect of this. They're completely stun locked until either you lose the stamina to maintain the attack, or they lose all their HP. But it's usually done best up against the wall. What's up? So let's take a look at that. I wonder why I dropped off my Kirk hammers, because I don't have I need to get all that shit out of the coffin. But basically, the Lost Kirk hammer has radial, triangle, and waning. So the Kirk hammer can be buffed as a weapon. It's not an unbuffable weapon. But if you work the gem imprints and you get the right gems, you can get massive damage. The thing about the waning ones is that I think, I'm not 100% sure, the waning ones are the ones that add elemental damage always, I think. So either arcane, fire, or bolt. And that'll make it like once you add an elemental damage, it'll remove the ability of being able to buff the weapon temporarily. But if it's worked correctly and your scaling is right, so for example, this guy has 45 arcane and 46 strength, he can potentially be doing more damage with a weapon that has the right gems, even though the weapon is not buffed. It just takes a lot of time to kind of like properly plan this stuff out, and I don't really have time for it. But I have it just in case. Like maybe one day it all clicks in a certain kind of way, and I feel the time investment is worth it. Unlikely though. I'm unlikely to do that. But the good thing is that it's a possibility, and people who are into that have taken the time to actually like explore. Oh fuck. Oh! 3 of them. I should have looked down before jumping. But yeah, people that like are into the whole the possibilities of what can be done with these like lost and uncanny imprint sets that are not available for the standard imprints of the standard weapons can get something out of it. Jesus. Not me though. I mean, sometimes I try for fun, but it's like it takes too much preparation. You have to kind of guess what is the the ideal type of gem you want and then hunt it down. Of course, you're not gonna try just randomly running into the gem you want. So people go online to see like where certain types of like gems will be found, and then you have to farm for it. And yeah, I'm not gonna farm for shit. But ideally, like if you work the system well enough, you can have a character that's doing like obscene amounts of damage with with a properly kind of set up weapon. Let's ring that bell. So I already have all that. And the things are overpriced. Like the standard items are more expensive than they are. Oh shit, what are you doing here? Oh, he gets called by the bell. So that little guy took my my blood echoes, and I don't have to worry about fighting the fucking scourge beasts. Except for, I think it leads to that room down there. So instead of going down the stairs and being stuck in a super like small hallway to fight them, I'm gonna go from the opposite direction. That way I can actually kill them and not be in such a disadvantageous setup to do so. There they are. Come on, buddies. One at a time. I could actually use them to replenish my health. Had I, like... thought it out, man. Big ass empty room. Why? I wonder if I can get up there in some way. Was there a door here? Oh, or chest. There's probably a chest in here. I just didn't see it because of the visibility in here is abysmal. No chest. Okay. Oh, Adam is back. Let's find a good spot to kick this guy's ass. Welcome back to my labyrinthine space station. Where you at, Adam? Don't run away this time, man. I want vengeance. There he is. I think he died. Did he die? Anyway, I'm gonna wait for him here. I'm in the second bonus area. The hallway leading to the second bonus area. Let's do some... He fucking died? How do you die as an invader? Idiot. There's not even any holes to fall into. Like, how did he do it? Pussy. So, this is gonna be Ebrietta's. I already know it. I'm gonna use... I should probably use, like, a weapon with thrust damage. Because she can be a bitch, especially against this character. You know what, fuck it. I'm gonna go in with my beast. Whatchamacallit, whatever this thing is called. Shocked myself. The fuck? So, anyway, I don't know what else to say. So, I mean, this is just, I guess, kind of like how a standard run of one of these joints goes. I hope Adam invades me, like, right now. That kid doesn't want to fight. Why go through the trouble of invading and then just giving up? So yeah, I'm still planning on doing kind of like a walkthrough of this game, because I did Dark Souls 2, a run to Platinum, which was a lot of fun. And Dark Souls 3 is not as fun. I haven't figured out a way of doing like a stream. I said I was gonna do something of the DLC of Dark Souls 3, but I don't know. I mean, first of all, I'm having a lot of difficulty with the bosses in the DLC, so I don't want to get stuck and have it be like a 20-minute video. I mean, like a fucking 5-part video where I'm just trying to fight Gale. And generally, I'm bored. Just something didn't click with that game. Something did not click right with that game. And I just didn't enjoy it as much. But there were some things about it that it did well that, you know, I can't knock it down for. But I don't think I'm going to be streaming that. And I want to do something with this game while I still have the heat and passion for it. Not that I think it's going to be going away anytime soon, because I could probably go in, like, at a later time, like, come back a year from now and do, like, a fun, you know, back to BloodBorne thing. But I want to create this strength, blood-tinged character. So it's either going to happen this week or it's going to happen a year from now. I don't know when. Probably might be better if I hold off on doing it for like a whole year, because that'll give me like a real legitimate reason to come back and experience the game with that build, because I only have one blood tinge character. All my other characters are either the first character I made before I even understood the game systems, he's all over the place. And I didn't put a level limit on him. I just kept leveling him up, so he's like about level 195. And the parameter that I leveled up the least was blood tinge. So my second character, I wanted to make her different from him. So she is dexterity, skill, blood tinge, and she's my only blood tinge character. My third character is dexterity arcane, and then this is my last character, and he's strength arcane straight up. So I don't have any kind of strength blood tinge characters, and there's only really one weapon that can take maximum advantage of strength blood tinge, which is the bloodletter. And so I'm thinking about doing bloodletter is hard to get. That's almost an end game weapon, because you have to complete almost the entire DLC, with the exception of fucking Orphan of Cause in order to get it. So it's difficult even thinking about what that would entail, because that means the entire first playthrough would be me using other weapons, until I finally get the weapon that I want. And then from New Game Plus onwards is when he's going to be really viable, with the bloodletter as his main weapon, and then kind of making use of other strength blood tinge weapons, which are mostly firearms. There's this I don't make use of a lot of these fun firearms, for example the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun has a high strength requirement and scales with blood tinge. All firearms scale with blood tinge, so it would make sense for him to be more, or him or her, because I haven't even thought about what I want the character to be kind of like a fun, versatile in terms of firearms, because I mostly play the game using I love how every individual trick weapon in this game is unique and has a different set of moves, and I love that. But I haven't played with firearms as much. I always have an offhand firearm that I never use. I just use either the standard gun or the standard whatever they can equip. If it's a dexterity character, then I'll have the Evelyn. This character, I took up his dexterity to 18 just so I could equip an Evelyn. When I first found out how buttery this weapon is, because it's got the quickest L2 of all the firearms, so it's the best hands down parrying weapon. And so his level is higher than it should be, because it's really not necessary for him to have skill on that level. And since I haven't leveled up his blood tinge, it's kind of useless, really, when you think about it. So yeah, I'm rambling, I think, but fuck it. These are kind of thoughts I've had about what I want to do, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. And I might just do it this week, actually. But I want to make it make sense and not take more than 5 videos. I mean, I'm the one I'm going to be watching them myself, because I love watching, myself experience games that I love, like this one. But I also don't want to have, hours upon hours of footage. Yeah. So, I gotta lay out exactly what it is I hope to achieve, and then do it and upload it. So, alright, Ebriata's second track. I was a little thrown off because I ran out of bolt paper, and I should have gone back to the dream to get the bolt paper. But I did okay. Get fire paper while I'm at it. Alright. I'm ready to go. I wonder who did the song for Ebrietas. Because this game had a total, I think something like 5 different composers. And it included the guy, the original Sakuraba, the guy that did the soundtrack for Dark Souls and half of Dark Souls 2's and 3's soundtrack. As well as Yuka Kitamura, who did like some of the most fucking amazing tracks from Dark Souls 2 and 3. But then they added several people as well. And the sound and like the feel of the song that plays with the Ebrietas boss fight is so fitting and like ethereal, kind of like how the character herself is. So I should probably download it, fucking torrent that shit. Get rid of this for easy flipping. Actually, I'm not gonna use this, or wait, I am using that. Okay. Right, actually, 1 sec. Let's do this. she didn't do like the maximum damage that she does. Rush. No, no grabby grab. Come on. Does the rush? Fucking great. That was hype as shit. Loved it. Okay, so this doesn't have another level. And so I'm done. That's basically it. This is like what a standard Chalice playthrough that I do every once in a while. I don't always finish them. Like sometimes I'll get completely frustrated with a boss and stop. And of course you can always come back later and do it like when you feel like it. So I do. But yeah, like I'm not over how, what a good idea it was to include Chalice dungeons. I feel it's very unfair, some of the criticisms that have been leveled against Chalice dungeons. I understand a lot of it is about personal preference, but the arguments themselves don't really add up because it just feels like the thing about games like this is like, okay, when a game does something amazing, that is unique, that is pulled off so effectively, and got so many, like, this is supposed to be like a niche franchise that even the fucking president of Sony thought was a failure and ended up becoming a genre of its own, like a triple A series. Sony paid From Software to make this game exclusively as a PlayStation 4 exclusive. This game was made to sell PS4s, but just because you create like a really good, solid experience, I feel like the people who got that, who appreciated that, whenever anything was thrown in in the consecutive, in like the sequels, to kind of complicate it, to expand the experience, there was like just fear of it and like not understanding it because it was willing to take you somewhere different. And like I feel the Chalice dungeons being one of the unique things that Bloodborne does among many, uh, pull that off. Like it's worth kind of thinking about, and of course it's gonna make some people uncomfortable, but I feel like a lot of people embrace them, and it worked. Like they understood, and I'm one of those people. Like I can always go back and play the first game or the first one I played whenever I want, but every individual game is supposed to kind of provide you with something unique and something that is like nostalgia can only take you so far. Like rehashing the same experience can only make you feel so much because all of it is kind of grounded in something that you have already felt in the past. So overall, Bloodborne feels, to me, it's almost my favorite, just because there's so much about it that's fresh. Like the framework of the game is based a lot, of course, on Dark Souls. Like if you play Dark Souls, you're playing a very similar game with Bloodborne, but like the fact that it's a completely new world, a new aesthetic, a bold kind of reworking of the battle system to make it more action oriented without really kind of dumbing it down or reducing it excessively is what made the game work. And I love Chalice dungeons. I'm making a roundabout kind of argument for them, but that's what it comes down to. Like they work. And yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna stream again. If I do this strength blood tinge character that I'm thinking about doing, it'll be probably sometime later in the week. I mean, I've already said this so many times, but I do have to think about like how I want to structure it so that it makes sense and that isn't just like yet another random stream of like people playing Bloodborne on YouTube or something. I want to have it be like have a title that's solid. Like this is gonna be a new game playthrough, strength, blood tinge build, blah blah blah, and kind of have goals for it. I don't know if I want to do full on like reading item descriptions and things like that. I don't know yet, but it'll go up when it goes up if it does. Thank you for watching. If anybody else is watching this besides myself, enjoy. If you haven't bought this game, I highly recommend getting it. Like if you're I don't know, I guess I'm thinking about who could potentially be watching this, but if you're like somebody that got something out of the Dark Souls games and you're considering getting it, highly recommend it. Bloodborne is amazing. And what I really wish more games would be, like I want to see more kind of like games that have this type of like evocative ability to make you feel something and make you experience something, because like so much about the industry right now is about rehashing a formula. They're games that are kind of built in boardrooms and they take into account what focus groups want, and it's not about like a creative experience. And I have no fantasies that in certain ways this game does in fact kind of play around market expectations and like industry demands and shit like that, but not as much as a lot of the other shit that's out there, and I want to see more like it. I really do. So yeah, it's a great game, probably my favorite game on the PS4. Made buying the system fully worth it. As kind of like one of the early defining generational experiences for this generation of consoles. I want to see more though. I mean, I want to see at least like games of this caliber, at least like 5 per year, and I'll be happy. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now.